There it is.
And we are live. Welcome back to It's Casual. And we're going to have Jonathan, our music guy, start the show out.
All right, here it comes.
Out of tune.
See, now you didn't have to say that.
No, that damn.
Who would have known? Except professional musicians.
Everyone could hear it at the end. It was so bad.
Never admit to something like that.
Wanders. Wanders.
Well, we had a wonderful show last week. We had Billy Vera on. What a great show.
Wow, that was so good.
I have some sad news to report, and that is that Eddie Brill, who was on the show a couple of months ago, was sick this past week. I think it was COVID related. And
he has COVID. Yep, he's recovering.
He is recovering. Yes. So our hearts go out to him. Fast healing. And we had this international show planned for tonight with Alexander Couture
from Ukraine.
From the Ukraine, yeah, he was a comedian that I met when I was in China, and another guy I met in China, Squinty Joan Hutton, who lived in Shako, and he's a musician who plays guitar, and he's an interesting guy. But unfortunately, both of them had conflicts with the time. Something had come up. And John was going to be on the road doing something like driving or something at the time we were supposed to be doing the show. And Alexander said that he had a meeting at 1 a.m. With somebody. And then it wouldn't give him time to sleep before his 5 a.m. performance on the show. So we've rebooked them down the line. And I called some really good friends of mine who I am so excited about tonight's show because these guys are so wonderful. I met Lee Wolfson when I was doing comedy back when I first started doing comedy back in the late 80s, early 90s in Tampa. He is a ventriloquist. And
those are so cool. I always wanted to be a ventriloquist.
And I've always wanted to have one on the show, and it just hasn't happened. It hasn't been in the cards yet. So we got.
And tonight's the night.
Tonight's the night. And another first. We're going to have a little mini concert at the beginning of the show from a wonderful musician that Lee is married to. Her name is Carol Stein. She is she's had decades of experience at Disney. She's a piano player at Disney.
Wow.
We're going to talk about that a little later on.
So awesome.
And I have never met a couple so much in love, which is going to be wonderful to talk to them about that tonight. So now I want to welcome to the stage Carol Stein and Lee Wolfson. Let's bring them up.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Well,
there you go.
How's everybody doing?
We are fantastic.
Good.
And so glad to have you on the show.
We are so delighted to be here. This is so much fun. Spontaneous. I love it. Thanks for having me.
I know. I had to call you like a couple of days ago. I'm so sorry for the last minute. But thanks for filling in for us.
We just got a huge thunderstorm here in Orlando, Florida, and it's just thundering and raining and lightning. So who knows what's going to happen?
It was over here in Altamont Springs a few minutes ago.
Oh boy, we had a situation one time where it was storming right at showtime, and we were just scrambling, trying to see, what's Rory going to do? Is his internet going to be there? it may happen tonight again. So
if it happens, if I pop off, the guys that are left on this show, I'm sure you can go for an hour.
We'll see.
So you asked me to do a concert, and so I thought today, it's filled with positivity. Everything about Disney just brings so much happiness. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to do a whole bunch of Disney tunes to show the beauty of Disney music, the diversity of Disney music. Some of these composers are so amazing, whether it's the Sherman Brothers or Alan Menken or Stephen Schwartz, it's exquisite music. So I hope that's okay. And if you have something else,
of course.
There's something else you want me to play, you can.
Who doesn't like Disney?
It.
Well,
okay, so here we go. We're going to do a mini concert. Whatever happens, whatever we play, that's what we play. And because the ultimate positive message for all of us and all over the world right now is believing in tomorrow, because it's been a rough couple of years for a lot of people.
Yes.
Really rough.
It really has. And
yeah.
This song, composed by Richard and Robert Sherman, I got to meet Richard Sherman once. And I got to sit at a piano together with Richard Sherman. I was like a little girl going, oh. But this was not that long ago, but I just felt like a little girl. And this song is called There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow. And he said that's what Walt was. Walt believed in tomorrow. He was a visionary. So here we go. I'm going to sing a bunch of songs, and we're going to bring Lee in to sing a little bit with me. And here we go. A Disney concert.
Yay!
There's a great big beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. A great big beautiful tomorrow. Tomorrow's just a dream away. Man has a dream, that's the start. He follows his dream with mind and heart. When it becomes a reality, dreams come true for you and me. It's a great big beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. It's a great big beautiful tomorrow, and it's just a dream away. Beautiful tomorrow, shining at the end of every day. There's a great big beautiful tomorrow, and it's just a dream away. Yay! That was absolutely a positive message that we're all going to get through this. I know we are. Now, everyone has their favorite princess and their favorite villain and their favorite animated Disney or live action. And for many people, my age, they had Cinderella because it was the ultimate dream song. And it's called A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes. And I always tell the young princesses today, I said, you're always allowed to be a princess after you get your doctorate's degree at university. dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. In dreams, you lose your heartache. Whatever you wish for, you keep. Have faith in your dreams, and someday your rainbow will come smiling through. No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the dreams that you wish will come true. Have faith in your dreams, and someday your rainbow will come smiling through. No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the dream that you wish, the dream that you wish will come true. There's my dream right there. So those are the wonderful princess songs that we all love to have our favorite princess, but what about the pirates? Are we still here? We had a big bolt of lightning. I hope we're still here.
We're still here.
So that was, are we here? Oh, good. Okay. So that was your pirate song and your adventure, because Disney has
It looks like maybe the storm might have gotten them. I don't know. But when she comes back,
and it has buddy songs.
When she comes back, I'll put her back on.
Okay, are we here?
You're still here.
You're back. You were gone, but you're
good. Okay. Well, we've got, this is Lee, everybody, and this is his friend.
This is Carl. Carl, you want to say hi? Go ahead, Carl. Hey, hello, how are you? Hey, Carol.
Hi, Carl.
So, like Rory was talking, I started doing comedy way back when, and I was booking a few comedians around Tampa and Sarasota, and I went looking for your headshots, Rory, and I have them, but I didn't. I have them everything boxed up. So, but if you want some of your old headshots, let me know.
Hey, how many do you have?
I don't know. I think I have quite a few, actually.
Actually, I only have like 1 or 2 left, so I might take you up on that offer.
Yeah, let me. When I find them, we get moved in. I'll look and see.
So we're gonna do buddy songs together. Is that okay?
Sure.
That's good with me.
What key do you like to sing in there, Roy?
Well, sang in siesta key for a long time.
Siesta key.
Long note key. And here I am with you.
I hope everybody has a glass of wine.
Karaoke.
Well, this was composed by Randy Newman, and this was for Toy Story. And it's just a great buddy song. And we're going to do it together, right, Lee?
I hope so. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old town said. You got a friend in me. Oh yeah. You got a friend in me.
It's true, you know. You got a friend in me. Oh, Carl, you got a friend in me. Our troubles, I got them too.
There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, we can sing it through. You got a friend in me.
Oh yeah, you got a friend in me.
Well, some of the folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too. But none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you. As the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me.
Oh yeah, you got a friend in me. One more time, Carl.
You got a friend in me. All right. Thanks, that was beautiful.
Thanks, Carl.
Too.
Oh, look who's got. Look who's got.
Oh, good to see you guys. Couldn't resist.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Well, I think we're gonna play next. It is my favorite music of a Disney film, the animated feature of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's composed by Alan Menken, and he collaborated with Stephen Schwartz. This is like the dream team. You know, Stephen Schwartz, he wrote the lyrics for this, but he composed the music and the lyrics for Wicked. He wrote Pippin. But the two of them collaborated together on also Pocahontas, and they are just so absolutely brilliant in what they do, and they bring so much emotion and so much musicality. So these are 3 songs from The Hunchback of Notre Dame that I find simply exquisite. It's the Bells of Notre Dame and God Help the Outcasts, and then the song that Quasimodo himself sings when you're sitting there, and it's called Out There. So.
Wow. Very, very nice. Lovely, lovely.
Thank you. Oh, it's so emotional. It's just filled with, it's just so filled with such emotion. I love it.
Well, and I'll be honest with you, I always cry when I used to sing "Dream Is a Wish Your Heart Makes" to my daughter when she was a toddler.
Oh, who I've met her in Hong
Yes.
Kong first, yes.
And we thought we were going to lose her one night when she was a baby. She had a terrible fever and she was seizing, and I sang that to her that night. So
Oh, that's a special.
makes me
That's
emotional
Disney
every time I
magic.
hear
It's
it.
Disney magic. Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad. Well, I was going to do one more song before I bring Lee back, just
Okay.
to show sort of the diversity of Disney music and the styles.
Yep.
This is one of those fun tunes. It's called "Everybody Wants to Be a Cat," and it's just awesomely cool.
Yes.
Everybody wants to be a cat because the cat's the only cat who knows where it's at. Everybody's picking upon the feline breed because everything else is so obsolete. A square with a horn makes you wish you were born every time he plays. A square in the act can set music back to caveman days. I heard some corny birds who wanna sing, but still a cat's the only cat who knows how to swing. Who wants to be a longer geek or stuff like that? But everybody wants to be a cat. Now a square with a horn makes you wish you were born every time he plays. A square in the act can set music back to caveman days. Well, everybody wants to be a cat because a cat's the only cat who knows where it's at. Playing jazz, you always have a welcome mat because everybody wants to be a cat. Everybody wants to be a cat. Everybody wants to be a cat.
From the Aristocats.
The Aristocats, good for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
Oh, I know my Disney. I do. Um, but everybody is showing off their cats on on Facebook and
Yeah, well, it's great. I love to
Instagram.
see cat pictures and dog pictures. It's happy. It's happy. It's good.
So
So
you
I
think we'll
thought if
bring
you
Lee
guys all
back?
want to talk and everything, that would be great. And then at the end, we'll bring back Lee. I want him to come back now to talk, but we're going to do one song at the end if that's cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm always amazed by, and we were doing some chat, some text while you were playing about your style of playing and how smooth it is. And I was just amazed when you were doing the Pirates of the Caribbean, how you were moving the microphone and you didn't miss a beat on the keyboard. You were moving the microphone back and forth to get it out of your way, but you didn't lose a beat. It was amazing. That's talent. That's experience. You know, that's a life of playing the piano. When did it all start for you, Carol? When did the music?
Oh goodness! Well, my mother played trumpet at New England Conservatory, and all her sisters and brother, they all played music and were dancers and artists. They were all that creative side. And my grandfather had given each of the 5 children, my mother and her siblings, a piano, just a little upright spinet, for a wedding present when they got married. So there was this little spinet in the house. So I was 2 years old when I sat upon the piano and was just picking out notes and singing nursery rhymes. And my mother went, "Oh." So she taught me to read music, and then I was playing, and then finally at age 4, she brought me to a teacher and said, would you take her? And the teacher said, "No, we wait till they can read," because back then, in those days, you didn't usually learn to read till you were 5 or 6. But
Oh wow!
she didn't realize I already read, plus I already read music. And so
Well,
she
you
took me.
showed her, didn't you, Mozart?
She took me, and her name was Zelfa Friedman. And she was my first teacher. And so at age 4, I started. And she had me doing concerts at age 4 and age 5. And yeah.
I don't doubt it at all. You were a prodigy.
Well,
Child prodigy.
I just loved it. I just loved it. And I still do. I just love it.
You've got like thousands of followers now. I mean, you were doing concerts back in 2020. I remember
Yeah.
because you inspired me to do concerts. I did 5 or 6 concerts.
Yes, you did.
And that was all inspired by you, by seeing you do that. I was like, oh, wow, I would like to do something like that, for people who are, stuck in their house and nothing to do at night and they're going stir crazy. So,
well, what happened was it was March 15th that Disney closed, actually really closed. And so I was playing at that time at the Rose and Crown pub. And March 17th was going to be St. Patrick's Day, which is a big deal for the people at the pub. And I felt so bad. I said, hey, Lee, would you dress one of your puppets, your figures up as, like an Irish guy, and we'll do an Irish thing together for like 15 minutes.
dress him up like a leprechaun.
And he did. And he was, of course, he said yes. And so I thought I'd play for 15 minutes, the night Patty Murphy died is a night I'll never forget. But I kept getting requests and it turned into a 2-hour concert. And then people said, when are you doing it again? So it turned into a weekly thing and it was really touching.
I think I caught that one, but I caught like your second or third one. And yeah, there were hundreds of people commenting.
Well, it was touching because people were scared and alone. And so every concert Lee would do something with me and I really appreciated it.
Well, Lee, you started out doing comedy like in the Tampa Bay area.
I started in the 80s. I started.
Right.
I actually needed a hobby. I was going to school, and I was doing a lot of reading. And I went to a bookstore, and I went in the magic section, picked up a book on magic, and found ventriloquism, and kept from then on. It's been every day. So
I just saw lightning coming in your window there, behind you, a little lightning flash. And that's when we met. We met and I guess it was Tampa. It might have been.
it might have been. Yeah, I mean, I had some clubs in Sarasota, and we were doing something at the Ramada in Tampa for a while there. It was a lot of fun, actually. It was really a lot of fun.
Those were the days, my friend. You thought they'd never end.
Comedy was different back then.
I remember 2 things about that. One, that we talked about you coming up with a character called Joey Bag of Donuts was one thing that I remember we talked about. And the other thing was you came one night dressed up as Harpo Marx and your puppet was Groucho and he did all the talking.
I actually dug him out because you said something about him.
And that was hysterical. That cracked me up so bad when you did that.
One time we went to a Halloween party and I carried Groucho and he was Harpo.
Well, there you go.
So he didn't say anything the whole night. I'm like,
oh, and there it is. I thought you said you had that guy boxed up. Wow.
Got him out for you.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I didn't realize.
And there's a guy in Florida here who's a huge Groucho Marx fan, a huge Marx Brothers fan. He has his own clubs called Grouchos. His name's Larry Silver.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where does he have these clubs?
He's over on the East Coast, Melbourne and Stewart.
Yeah, Melbourne. Yeah.
Yeah, are 2 of the places that he has his clubs. Yeah.
So I mean, Peter
he's
Hefty
actually doing hypnosis.
Yeah, Peter Hefty
He's hypno-hilarious now.
Peter Hefty influenced me a lot. I mean, he actually took me down to a room and said, "Here you go."
Oh man, I remember driving around with Peter. Yeah.
He's still doing it. He's still.
I would have to drive him places. They'd go, "Hey, we'll give you an opening spot if you open for Peter Hefty. You've got to drive him there."
He probably needs transportation.
And he would always have me do Jay Leno because he knew Jay Leno back before he became famous.
Yeah.
So he'd always have me doing Jay Leno driving like, hey, wait, we're going to Stewart, Florida there. We're going to see Larry Silver. And he thought that was the funniest thing.
Roy, you've been a lot of fun working with.
What? We were talking about inspiration earlier. You and I got together. You guys like to travel.
Oh, yes, we do.
And you came to Hong Kong.
Yes, we did.
And you reached out to me and said, hey, you want to go to Disney with us?
Yeah.
And Carol said something that made me cry that day, too. You guys make me cry all the time. She said that I inspired you, with, what I used to say at the end of my act, which was I used to do Roger Rabbit at the end of my act. And I would say, If you don't have a good sense of humor, you're better off dead. Remember, a laugh can be a very powerful thing. Sometimes in life, it's the only weapon we have.
And I
Good night,
carried that with me. I carried that with me even today.
And that's what she told me, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" So that was very sweet, and wow, nice to know that I made an impact on somebody back in those
That
days.
was a fun day at Hong Kong Disney. That was really fun.
That was
And
a great time.
It was the day after the first day it opened after they had like a typhoon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because we were at the
Typhoons
Shanghai
are not so
Disney.
bad over there usually. They're not like the hurricanes that come by here.
No, they're different.
My daughter and I actually did Hong Kong Disney during a typhoon.
Oh my God.
I got the pictures. We put our rain ponchos on, said, "We're doing it." And her mom let us do it. So, but yeah, if you've got a picture of yourself with the Groucho puppet dressed up as Harpo, please send that to me. I'll share it with our group. Would love to share that because that was really funny. How long have you been at Disney, Carol?
31 years.
Wow. So, okay. I couldn't remember if you said 22 years when I saw you in Hong Kong or 28. It was 20.
Well, it's really, I started with the Disney. I was living overseas. I was living in Switzerland and Europe and Japan and in 1990s when I first started for Disney, but I was still living traveling. So the first 7 years with Disney, I was what they call a CT. I was a casual temporary. Whenever I was home in America, I would play for Disney. But mostly I was living in Europe and Asia and traveling. And then in 97, I came home full time. So it's going to be in January, 25 years full time with Disney.
Wow.
But I started with the company in 90. And then I went back to Hong Kong in 92, 93, 95. And I was back in Switzerland. Yada, yada,
Amazing.
yada.
What a commitment. That's amazing. And again, they gave you the royal treatment when you showed up in Hong Kong Disney. I mean, they had special guys coming out from the main office.
They did that.
Showing us around and showing us behind the scenes. That was pretty cool.
That was really
giving us special badges and stuff. It felt really important. I remember too that Incredibles 2 came out just before that. And I'm a huge Incredibles fan.
I am too.
So I got the shirt and the hat that day.
Yes.
We took pictures.
Yes.
So much fun.
Yeah,
but you do encompass that positive energy and feeling of Disney, and it is a beautiful world, and tomorrow's going to be a beautiful time for all of us, and that also inspired me. Seeing that.
Well, Lee always says I have pixie dust in my blood, but I got that from my mother and father as well. They were the ultimate optimists. Life is full of challenges, and we all have them. And they did too. They lived through, good gracious, they were married 67 years, but they lived through the Depression, and went through the war, and so they always kept this positive optimism, and so I inherited it because that's how I was brought up. And Disney embodies that. Disney kept trying to get me to come home full time, but those 7 years, but I really loved what I was doing, living and traveling in Europe since the 80s, and then they offered me a position at the Comedy Warehouse, which was an improv comedy theater. Absolutely loved it. So I came home for that. So I was the pianist, and there'd be 5 improv artists on stage. And I was there 18 years with them at the Comedy Warehouse. And we all grew up together, and I learned so much from them. There's a gentleman named Chris Oyen who was our guru who brought that about. And many of these actors were very experienced musical theater actors, and already with like Second City and all the improv actors. So it was a very high level quality of very intelligent, quick-witted, funny, amazing people. And to this day, they're still my dearest friends. I mean, I just love them. So that's why I came home, was to work there. And then when they closed Pleasure Island in 2008 to turn it into Disney Springs, then I ended up performing in the Rose and Crown pub. And I was there since 2008 until COVID came. And then I was furloughed like everyone else, but I was only out for about 4 months. And when they opened Epcot again in July of last year, they brought me back. So I've been performing still in it. Not in the Rose and Crown, not in the pub, but I was in a big, gorgeous building called the World Showplace on the Steinway Grand on this gorgeous stage. And it was just glorious. And now I'm still in the UK, but I'm in the gazebo playing in the gardens.
Over at Epcot.
Yes, in Epcot.
Right. That's what I knew that you had gone over to Epcot. They had sent you over to Epcot to play different places. I thought, yeah.
I still lived Hoop-de-Doo and the Grand Floridian. The very first day I ever played at Walt Disney World, I played in the lobby of the Grand Floridian Resort, and we got married at the Grand Floridian Resort. So it's kind of a real special.
That was my next question. When did you guys meet?
Go ahead, Lee.
It's about 9 years ago.
2010.
Oops. Sorry, Lee.
We got married 9 years ago.
Right, yay! You're right. Good job.
So how did you meet was probably what I should have said.
How did we actually were on a dating site. That's a Jewish dating site.
J-Date.
And
Welcome to Data Jew.
yeah, it was close to Disney World, and I found myself a Disney girl. So
Well, there you go.
yeah, I couldn't be happier.
Obviously, things worked out very well for you guys because you guys have been very. I love going to your web page on Facebook and seeing what you guys are up to because you always like to go out and travel when you got time, which is great. And did you guys get a motorhome?
When Disney furloughed, it was so funny. I'm a Ritz-Carlton kind of girl. And when we were furloughed, they said, hey, we're closed until further notice. So,
Yeah.
We don't have any dogs or animals or anything like that. And I said, hey, let's rent an RV and we'll sterilize it and clean it real well. And he said,
rented
he said, let's buy one. And I said, okay. Worst that happens is we don't enjoy it and we sell it.
But you have been enjoying it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're really having a good time.
Love it.
So we were kind of, what are we going to do? We've been exercising. We've been doing bread. We've been making chocolate. We've been doing all this stuff. And it's like, okay, let's travel. Let's just, we have time. I have a business, so it's doing very well. It's doing, even with the COVID, it's food industry. So
you're in the ice business, right?
Yeah. Yes,
it's called Lee's Ice.
Yeah, Lee's Ice. So if you see Lee's
Iceman.
Yeah, you'll see our trucks are really popular in Orlando. So, but in the outskirts also. But we traveled Yellowstone. We really had some, and we did a few concerts while we were traveling. Also, I got a generator and pulled out the keyboard once in a while, and we had some fun with it. We really did.
I saw that.
Yeah, he's my own Kristoff from Frozen. He makes ice.
There you go. Just let it go. I just love using that line. Anyway, you would go. I remember seeing, and I can't remember. I think it was a Robin Williams movie about RVs.
Yeah.
Where they would go to different campsites around the country, and they would meet people, and they would have these outside parties and stuff like that. And you guys would come out with your keyboard, and people would get up their deck chairs and stuff and come over. And that just looks like a wonderful time, like a fantastic time. And you meet all these new people. And
when we got the RV, he said, we're going to bring the keyboard. I said, oh, we can't do that. He said, sure we can. And I said, well, we can't plug it in. He says, oh, buy a generator. It worked out to go in an RV worked out because he's amazing and can do anything. So I would break things and he would fix things. I would break things and he would fix things. It was a perfect match. I learned a lot. We used to watch YouTubes every night of where to go, what to see, how to fix things, how to camp, how to RV. And that's how we learned. And then we learned by Carol making mistakes. And it was wonderful. But we did. So we were in Yellowstone and he said, oh, we got to get the keyboard out and do a concert. And I said, you can't do that. The Rangers are going to arrest us and fine us for disturbing the buffalo. He says, no, they're not. And he did. He just set up my keyboard and so we did it.
Destroying the buffalo with your keyboard.
And then there's friends.
Hey, look, they're playing piano.
We had friends all over the country, and many of them were performers, friends of mine. So we had duo concerts. I had a dear friend named Kathy Morrow, who lives in Vail, Colorado. And so we did a concert together. She used to also be in Europe, and I made her come to Hong Kong when I lived in Hong Kong. And then Johnny Beyer, a world-class banjo player. He's the curator for the National Banjo Museum in Oklahoma City. and he's quite brilliant. So we used to play at Rosie O'Grady's together back in the 80s.
What was that name again? What was that name again? Banjo?
Johnny Beyer.
Johnny Beyer.
And it's the National Banjo Museum in Oklahoma City. And he put it together. There was a gentleman who left a foundation to do that. And it is so classy and so well done. And he's just a classy guy. And you can think, a banjo? It's phenomenal history. It's part of American history. And of course, part of American music history. But so we did a concert together. And that was really fun too. That was, yeah.
We actually have several friends who play the banjo. And one of them actually runs one of the channels that we're on now, Socially Distant Fest. Jake Allen is his name.
Okay.
His wife Bethy, and he plays waltzes on the banjo.
Okay.
Which are amazing. I mean, it's just so different. So that's why I asked you for the name of Johnny Beyer, because
Johnny Beyer.
I want to see if I can get him on the show now.
Oh, you can't go.
For our banjo lovers.
You can see Johnny, YouTube's galore on Johnny. He's really an amazing musician and a really fabulous gent. I'm sure you could. That would be awesome. He when we played at Rosie O'Grady's, I got to play in the world famous banjo band. Not just one, we had 2 banjos. And I used to always like to, before I'd start a piano solo, I'd say, you know the difference between a banjo and an onion?
No.
No one cries when you chop up a banjo.
Oh!
Okay, sorry. No, he makes it so musical. It's pretty incredible.
He can say that because he's a banjo player. So, oh man, yeah, I'm gonna have to look him up. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, what were some of your other adventures this past few years after?
Well, because I used to live in Europe and Asia, I wanted Lee to meet some of these people that are such a big part of my life. So we, since we've been married, we've been, we just came back from Switzerland.
Everywhere.
We just came back from Switzerland on Tuesday? We were there for 3
I was trying to book you on the show for this month, and you said, well, we're going to be traveling.
Yeah.
And I offered you the 25th before I got Alexander and and Johnny and Squinty John, but it just worked out this way that you're filling in for them.
We say it's beschert. It's meant to be, but no, we went to South America. We went to Peru and Argentina, Brazil. We went to China, of course. Then when we got to see you, and went to Italy. We went to we did a cruise from England to Russia. We went to Leningrad and
we just got back from Switzerland.
Yeah.
So, you guys got some serious visas to get around.
No matter where we go, she has a friend there.
There you go.
Yeah.
No matter where you go, there you are.
Yeah.
Well, since it's such a wonderful world, how about if we sing that right now?
Sure.
Let's do that.
So this is my Roy Oakley puppet.
Hi, Roy.
So when I go out and do some karaoke, he's usually with me. So hello, Carol. You ready?
Sure.
Let's do it.
I wonder what key you do this in. We'll find out. I'll switch if you want another key.
The key of karaoke.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, a bright blessed day, a dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
You sound so good, Roy.
Thank
How
you.
about Lee? You take it.
The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, what do you
How do you do? They're really saying,
We love you. I hear ladies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn so much more than I'll ever know.
I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Yes, everybody now.
And I think to myself,
what a wonderful, crazy, mixed up,
wonderful world.
Wow, thank you.
That's it.
Wow, I'm Owen Wilson all of a sudden. Wow. And he works for Disney. Cars and
Yeah, yeah,
Loki.
yeah, yeah.
Loki. He's got a lot of stuff under his Disney belt. Let's talk about that a little bit. Disneyana and the craze. People just love Disney, and they love anything that comes out of Disney.
You know, first of all, it does give so many positive vibes to the world, so much positive energy. But
Yeah.
it's the details. We were talking about this in the green room today when I was performing in breaks. It's the details that Disney does. If you look at something, there's a story. We just had a little staycation when we came home from Switzerland. We took a little 3-day staycation at Disney, and we stayed in the Coronado Resort. And there's so many details. Salvador Dali and Disney were friends, and the influence for that is in the Coronado. And my friend Alex Wittenberg, who is a savant of everything artsy and the history of everything you look at, educated us on so many. It's the details that makes Disney so unique in the world, and that's why it's so successful. And look at the animated features. Look at the hair on the monsters in Monsters Inc. On Sully, how it flows and the colors, and it's so vibrant. It's the details that make Disney Disney. It's the cast members and the guests. We love being there.
Well, and they were smart enough to get Pixar in their
That was wise. That was very wise.
because they revolutionized
Yes.
3D animation. They changed animation as we know it today.
It's true.
It's not 2D anymore. I mean, it's got to be 3D now, and that's because Pixar made it look so good, and it made it look so easy, and that's when a change happens.
But even the live, if you go to Broadway, hopefully we're all going back to Broadway a lot. But have you ever seen Beauty and the Beast live? Those costumes.
I've seen video.
The customers are just. I love when I get to go to Disney and I get to go in the costume room for a new costume. The costumes, the material, the history. Have you been to Avatar and Animal Kingdom and?
I have not.
Oh my God!
I was going to say that
Rory,
one of my friends, Norm Lewis, who's a singer
yes,
on Broadway.
of course,
Actually,
Norm Lewis. Of course.
yeah, that was Ariel's father on Broadway.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Oh, he's brilliant.
Yes.
But when you go into Animal Kingdom and you walk through where Avatar is and those amazing rides, Joe Rohde is the genius behind that. He's an anthropologist, a sociologist, an artist. There's so much that goes into when you see Disney. Oh, it's a cartoon. It's not. It's a historical. It's just filled with so much history, and there's always a story.
And the details.
Details in the story are what make Disney, and the costumes, and the brilliant, and all the cast members that go into every single thing. And to be a part of that, just be a tiny part of that, just playing music and singing and work. I love working with actors on all the different shows. It's marvelous. They're so talented. They're so talented.
A good example of that is how I love the Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion is one of my favorite rides.
Or
ever.
Mystic Manor, when we saw Mystic Manor.
And then we saw Mystic Manor, which was it's their version of the Haunted Mansion, but it's completely different.
Yeah.
And as is the one in France. I went to the one in France, and it's very different. It's much scarier actually in the Paris.
Every park has its own essence. It has its own personality on every ride. But the details are always there, and the story is always there.
Yeah.
And,
so do you buy into all of that? I mean, do you collect?
No, I don't.
No, I don't see a lot of things on your wall there that are
no,
Mickey Mouse.
they're mostly from around. That's from China. That's from Vietnam. That's from Thailand. That's from Israel.
So have you been to all the parks?
Yes, I have. Yes,
we went to all the parks around the world.
Well, when I was living in Japan, I was actually playing in the Playboy Club. I wasn't playing at Disney. But I went to the Japan, Tokyo Disneyland. Right. And then we went recently the Shanghai Disney, which is...
I hope they didn't make you wear a bunny outfit.
No, I did not. No, the other girls did.
Okay.
But I didn't know. I was the pianist. I was not a bunny.
They're
It
very-
was actually a very upscale, fancy schmancy businessman's. It was like $1 million to join, and there were like businessmen from Russia and France and the U.S. and South America. And it was a very interesting. And I was just
Was it $1 million yen to join or $1 million?
dollars. I mean, it was crazy.
It's easy to be a millionaire in Japan with a yen. Yeah.
But it was absolutely, yeah. I buy into what I buy into Disney is, especially now, the lessons in life. If you see the animated features now, the girls, the princesses, they're very strong women, and they accomplish a lot.
Right.
I like how Disney has morphed with the times, but kept that true. I mean, there is something special about Disney. What's made it so successful? But no, I just am who I am and do what I do. I happen to love the music. When you get composers like, Alan Menken, come on, he's one of the greatest composers of this century. I mean, and you get this high level of musicians and composers and artists and set designers and costumers and actors, and yeah, I buy into that.
So what's next for you and Lee?
Well, we're building a new house.
You
And
did
it's
mention that.
the end of October.
Big deal.
That's a big deal right now. It's really exciting. It's gonna be a very cool community, and hopefully being able to do lots of concerts there too. And,
Can you tell us more about the house? I mean, is it going to be a nice big cabin, or is it going to be?
It's 20 minutes from here. Just 20 minutes from here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 55 plus resort community. It's called Del Webb.
Hey, that's where I'm at right now.
It's really cool. It's really
I turned
cool.
55
Huge.
1 month before I moved in here.
Well, they have this huge 27,000 square foot clubhouse that has a banquet hall with a theater stage for concerts. And they have an outdoor amphitheater for concerts. And then they have this really, really neat swimming pool that with, zero entry. And then they have walking clubs, and they have biking clubs and golfing clubs. And it'll be a very nice social environment. And we're looking forward to
It's
it.
going to be a big hit there. There's no doubt. So you're looking forward to that. Anything else? What else? You're still at Disney.
Yeah, I'm still at Disney. I went to 4 days. I decided 5 days is too much because I'm doing. There's a really cool company called We Bring the Funny. Steve Pernick was, and Jake, and Mary. They were all Comedy Warehouse actors, and so I'm doing several shows with them. We're doing that. There's a friend of mine named Carla Del Villaggio. She's a Barbra Streisand tribute artist who is amazing. We're going to do a concert in Savannah coming up. We're doing that. I have my own concerts. I do still. I love the Blue Bamboo. Hopefully, I'm going to be there soon. I've been too busy, but I want to get back there. I have my cabarets that I'm still doing and composing. I'm composing a song now for a friend who's doing a cabaret. So
When you have dates for Savannah, let us know because we have a lot of friends in Georgia.
It is the weekend of the 16th, 17th of next month, just in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, text that to me, and I'll put it in the group.
SimplyStreisand.net. She might have all the information there, or I'll give it to you and you give it to me.
All right.
But yeah, and I have my own jazz band. And I'm doing a thing with Charlie Bertini, who produced my last couple CDs. He's a brilliant trumpet player and one of my favorite people on the planet. And he and I are going to do a little duo thing coming up. And there's just things always. There's concerts to be played, and Disney is Disney. And I'm there.
Well, as I do Sinatra and Orbison, and I've been wanting to do the Big Bopper, I may be talking to you soon about creating some tracks for me for the Big Bopper part. So I hope so. So thank you guys so much for coming on tonight. Good, an hour has passed by so fast. Look at this.
I can't believe it.
And we always try to have as much fun as we can when we do the show. And we're so glad you came on.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for having us, everybody.
It was
We're
so
glad
good.
we had
Thank you
you.
for coming.
Love you both so much. You take care, okay? Stay safe.
Thank you, Roy. Thank you.